Hello once again, everybody. It's Friday, which means we're going to be having a bit of a conversation about a new release, a new musical release. And today we're going to be talking about an artist that I actually thought for the longest time that she was Chilean. She's actually from Colombia, but she lives in Mexico City, where I was actually born. And her name is Elsa Elmar. And like I said, I thought she was Chilean, but she's actually Colombian. I only actually listened to two of her songs before the one that was just released, I guess, this morning. And I would say that her style of music is just like indie pop. She has a pretty sweet melodic voice, and for what I've seen, she writes all of her music and also she plays the guitar. Her brand new single, which just came out this morning, is called Como Acaba, which basically means or translates to how it ends. It is a pretty sweet love pop ballad that I would probably think that talks about like closing a cycle with a previous partner and just being okay with keeping those memories and for what it was and just moving forward, right? And I actually really like the way the bass notes were introduced into the song. It starts, playing at a pretty low volume, and then just within 1 second, the volume of the bass just kind of like goes up. And this is probably more noticeable if you're listening on some good headphones, right? The video for this single is actually a pretty perfect complement for the overall vibe of the song. And based on the landscape of the video, I can only assume that it was shot on the outskirts of Mexico City, because you see the volcanoes that are like one of the major landscapes that you see from Mexico City, right? Like I was saying, I actually haven't really listened to much of her music, so I'm actually looking forward to just checking out all of her albums. I don't know, maybe she has like some 3, 5 albums, I don't really know, but I'm going to take a few days this weekend just to pay more attention to her music and see what other cool surprises there's in her repertoire, right? As usual, I'm going to be posting her social media links and also her Spotify as well as mine. And yeah, if you have some time, also give her a listen. If you're open to listening to some music in Spanish. And yeah, as usual, I'm always looking forward to hearing back what you guys think of the music that I talk about and recommend. And also, probably more than anything, I'm also looking forward to always hearing what kind of music you would recommend that are you listening, because I'm always kind of like on the search for new music, new artists, new bands. And to finish up, just special mention to two of my idols who actually released music as well this weekend. One of them is Paul Weller, the other one is Johnny Marr. Paul Weller released a new version of his classic English Rose, and this time is with the BBC Symphony Orchestra. I think it's going to be part of a full album release. And even though, fans like us have listened to English Rose probably like hundreds of times, this is a pretty good tease of what the album with the BBC Orchestra is going to sound like, and gives it a bit of a fresh new life to this single that has been around for a few years. There's many reasons why I admire Paul Weller, but one of them, I think probably one of the main ones, is how prolific he is as an artist and how much material he releases throughout a year after year. And obviously not just his own music, but he collaborates with a lot of different artists. But it's just it's one of those, I cannot really think of another artist who's as prolific as he is now, at least nowadays. But I mean, yeah, if you can think of another artist who releases as much music, not just like quantity, but also like the quality of the music that he releases. I cannot really think of another artist who has that same quality that Paul Weller has. And just to finish up, just moving on to the other one of my idols who released music. His name is Johnny Marr, and he's actually going to be releasing his music in sets of EPs. And he just releases the first EP. This one is called Fever Dreams Part 1. So I'm guessing there's going to be Fever Dreams at least a couple of parts before he releases another set of 2 EPs. I think the release of this EP like really solidifies his solo sound, right? The sound that is his signature sound now that he's been releasing music as a solo artist for a few albums, especially if you compare it to the music that he collaborated with other bands like and Modest Mouse and the Crips, amongst others, right? So this new EP just like really like puts a stamp on like the sound of Johnny Marr as a solo artist, right? Only the first track of this new EP has a bit of a different sound than the other three, and it's called Spirit, Power, and Soul. And this song actually has a sound that reminded me of his music that he made with Bernard Summer of New Order on the super band that they created called Electronic. And actually, during the course of this Spirit, Power, and Soul, if I close my eyes, I can perfectly almost like hear the chorus being sung by either Bernard Summer or Neil Tennant of the Pet Shop Boys, who also collaborated with them in some of the albums of Electronic. And that's all for today. As usual, I'm going to be posting the Spotify and social media links of the artists that I've talked about today, and as well as mine. And once again, feel free to give us a follow. And once again, just a reminder that any musical recommendations that you have, send them my way, because I'm always on the hunt for cool new music. And have a good weekend, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Peace.